You're such an asshole.
So it's one of those requests where I have to anonymize things. So this will be a guy who does a thing at a place where they produce stuff. And he has a question about some things. So let's go through it. I hope your day is well. I'm happy with your response to my question being posted on YouTube, but I'd like to keep my name and business private. This is a question related to my career in accounting. Backstory: I am a worthless joke of a degree graduate from a university at a place at a particular time in the years. I have no accounting designation. I am of a certain age that is neither young nor old. And I moved to leftist shithole 8 years ago from not quite leftist shithole, cold place. Bachelor lifestyle, technically, I'm not qualified for most of the ladies in today's market, but I can do 50 consecutive push ups. Never mind. All right, focus, Aaron. My last job in the previous town that isn't as bad as the current leftist shithole I live in now, I worked as a finance manager in an industry. This industry did a significant amount of money annually, and I earned $110,000 annually. This business offered me the CFO position after several years at the firm, but I decided to relocate to current leftist shithole I am in now instead, and I quit the business. At that time, the president was fired. The current CFO was promoted to president, CEO. And the new president offered me the CFO position. He earned significantly more, because I don't want to identify this person, annually when he was CFO. The short version of why I left is I didn't have anything hold me down in the town that wasn't as left as shithole in that town I'm in now. In the town I am in now, I took the first job I could get, and I was not picky. Okay, I have to understand. I mean, you don't have to answer this. Both towns are cold shitholes, right? Why didn't you just stick where the money was really good? Like that town, if I had to choose between the towns, I would not go to the leftist shithole you're in now. I would have stayed at your original place. But okay, you left. Where I currently am in now, I took the first job I could get, and I was not picky. I was offered a job at a small company that also does a thing. I started at 70,000 annually, but I quickly rose my salary to near 200,000 annually. You know, I have to admit, for you with a worthless degree, you got a knack, man. Like if you could get up to 200,000, you know your shit. You got to be a pretty good accountant. I have cut 5% out of, I increased bottom line by 5%. This business was owned and operated by an entrepreneur who started it quite some time ago from humble beginnings. When I started at this business, the business was about 90 days from bankruptcy. I told the truth. And you told the what? You told the what? Sir, don't you know in America, you cannot tell the truth. You must tell the bro dudes what they want to hear. That is the most important. You must lie in America, sir. You must lie. How dare you tell people the truth, which results in long-term employment for other people? How dare you, sir? Told the truth. Revenue doubled shortly. Wow. And operating profit grew to nearly 20%. The owner is a great guy, but due to his age and health reasons, he needed to retire. He had been working 60 hours per week since day one. He sold the business a few weeks ago. I knew well in advance that he was trying to sell. This job works well for me because I am pretty free to do as I want. HR was kicked out when I started. Yes! Wait, hold on. Hold on, Elon Musk buying Twitter and firing half the people. Hold on. How are you still in business without an HR department? And not only how are you still in business, you fired HR and profits went up? I don't get it. HR is a cancer please get rid of those people for anyone. You know what? um, oh, I can't remember. Dave, small business mindset. What the hell? Why can't I remember your consulting site, Dave? That's just all we have to do as consultants is just go in and say, fire all your HR people, outsource it, get rid of it. That's all we have to do. Oh, and our profits increased. We couldn't figure it out. Employee retention went up and our complaints went down. I don't know what's happening. Fucking cancer. There's a website, I think it's like the HR lady or something like that. Don't quote me on it. And her and I had a run in like 10 years ago. Not a personal one, but she took issue with what I was saying about HR. And I looked her up. She's still like a nobody baby boomer HR consultant with a fucking sad, pathetic LinkedIn profile. And not the profile, but like the resume. I'm like, oh, how's that HR shit going? How is it promoting business astrology? I see. You need HR. The fuck out of here, you parasites. HR was kicked out when I started, and I have the power of a dictator in this business. I average around 50 hours per week, but WAM, free to come. But WAM, I am, but I am free to come and go as I please. Also, nobody at the office is offended by a few rude jokes. The new ownership moved in a couple weeks ago. They are, I guess, what would we call it? A family-owned business. The company is 4 times the size of our company. More details about the business we don't need to share. The founder of that company also passed away quite some time ago. Oh, that's too bad. I know the stats. There are stats related to small business acquisitions and succession planning. The new ownership made it very clear they will only, okay, that's not germane to this. I believe in talking the truth, and I want to approach the new ownership about the stats and the risk of their business leadership strategy. Oh, you're gonna tell truth to the, you got lucky once finding a business owner, management that wanted the truth. I don't know if you could do that again. That's just not going to happen. I really don't know. Here's my question. I'm interested in hearing from you about if you think I might be better off avoiding the truth and creating a better plan for myself. I'm also concerned that my ego will cause issues if the new ownership's attempts to disrupt the freedom I have experienced prior. Well, yeah, of course. Look, let me explain to you how acquisitions go. And this makes complete sense, right? You got to view it in armies, right? How many generals do you need to command an army? You need one. That's it. You just need one. And so when businesses go and they acquire different businesses or subsidiaries, usually one of the first things to go is going to be your white collar management class because they don't need 2 CFOs. So unless you are the dedicated CFO or they say like, yeah, your position at this company is going to be this. Yeah, I'd be afraid of being on the chopping block, not because you've done anything wrong or there's any ill will between you and the new people coming in, but that's what you do. That's how you make the profit. One general with an army of 30,000, he finds another army with 20,000 soldiers. You don't need 2 generals over 50,000. You need one general who now commands 50,000 troops. So that alone means you're at a kind of a disadvantage. I mean, you got to play it out, see like, no, we want you to keep running it how it is. We'll leave you the fuck alone. So we'll see. I mean, it's kind of a wait and see, but yeah, that would be very expected that you might be on the chopping block. I'm also concerned that my ego will cause issues. Well, it's not an ego. You just have a commitment to the truth. Ego is like, I'm great. Look at me. I'm from, I don't know, Winnetka, some asshole place. That's ego. You just have, I guess a little bit of pride about talking the truth, and you should, but that doesn't fly well in businesses. And now you got a different ownership, and yeah, if the new ownership attempts to disrupt my freedom I experienced prior, right? You should be having a plan B by now. You may not have to execute on it, but I'd be like, hey, I'm in this situation. My company just got took over, and so far they say I got a job, but I want to start poking around a little bit. And hopefully, I mean, the ideal situation is they leave you alone. Keep running it like you did. We're going to leave you alone. We just want the money. I'm like, okay, fine. But if they come in there, we don't like this. We don't like it doing that one, which is kind of probable to happen. All right. How much of it are you going to have to compromise? Are you able to continue? In other words, will it be tolerable when they have new rules you got to follow, which they have every right to implement upon you because they're the owners? And, you can say, no, it's not going to work that way. The reason I set it up this way is for that reason. Please just let me know. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. They could be very understanding. They could be very hands off, but they may want to fold it into the rest of their business and say, well, we don't need you anymore. So, yeah, I would, for those reasons and the fact that you may not have as much freedom anymore, and they're going to maybe, we don't know, require you kiss the ring and do it. We do it the Johnson way. Her to her to her to her. Yeah, I could go the other way. Say, wait, you got 20% profit margins? We only got 12. What are you doing? Here, we're going to fire our guy because he ain't doing good. You're in command. Do it to the rest of the company. So I mean, don't start writing your resignation letter now. But yeah, this would be a time to brush the old resume. I appreciate your time. Please let me know if this is something you could dig into. I try to keep it short. If you need additional details, let me know. Yeah, it's nothing bad. This is just regular business, but now would be the time. Yeah, poke around so that if they start fucking with your little fiefdom there, or they start making it impossible to work for them, or they just might outright fire you because their guy's going to take over your job, now would be the time to do that. Yeah. I don't know. Can you go back to I mean, that's a lot of money you could be paid. How do we have 4 super chats on this? Reen, $2. Where are you and how do I apply? No HR. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Daddy and a caddy, CPA that did 2 remote job in HR. CPA that did second remote job in HR. Best grift ever. So you were a CPA who you had your regular job, but then you did a remote job in HR just to make more money. I know one gal, she's smart. She's got 2 full-time jobs, works remote on both of them. And they're typical corporate white collar jobs where like you could probably do 3 or 4 of them. She does 2 full-time jobs in 40 hours a week. She makes lots of money. Thaddeus McDick sucked the fourth. MBA. Accounting is overrated. He should get an MBA like me. That's where the money's at. Bro. Yeah, no. MBA, no. Get a master's in accountancy. If you even want to get a master's in accountancy, you don't have to. This guy has a horrible degree. And he still pulled it off, man. I just want like this guy. He has to be like a natural accountant. He just because you don't get to that level without having just a knack for it. Daddy and a caddy, $2. You can hire labor law paralegals instead of HR. You can outsource your HR functions for a fraction of the cost of having your own internal staff. Get rid of your HR department. Now, there's a lot of things I do with the business to inoculate and protect myself. There'd be a holding company, an operating company. And if there was any fuckery going on or lawsuits, like I guess the operating company is shut the fuck down. There is no money for you to sue. And if anybody fucks around or does bullshit, you're good. We shut the company down and it's fucking over. I'd have lawyers. I'd gladly hire lawyers. What's the labor law? What does that say? We got to, all right, here's your $200 an hour without insurance and healthcare and all the other shit. No, we're not going to have Karen in here. Everyone I'd hire, every manager, I'm like, you will find your own goddamn employees. You will not go to HR. You will not do some resume screening. You will spend your time choosing the right people, and we're going to train our fucking people. We're going to pay them a little bit more than the market rate. I want you to find the best people for the job. We're going to pay them a little bit more. So to stay here in the, and we're going to fucking train them. And we're going to be forthright and honest with them about what the job really is. And we're not going to euphemistically bloat it up. And you're gonna screen their social media and their background and make sure they are not Marxist, leftist, fucking whiny activist assholes. If we gotta go to high school and hire people to train them, we'll do it. We are not hiring any liberal arts or social science majors, and we are definitely not hiring from the Ivy League. Now go and get some employees. Super Zippy, Super Zippy, $5. I really enjoyed you poor person pricey car video. The poors. I'm glad I bought a $700 old cop car 8 years. Oh, did you get it like a Crown Vic? Them is comfy. They're very comfy. Going, it just keeps going on with basic maintenance. Man, you get an old Crown Vic. That's going to be classy down the road. If you got it in shape, you kept it. Maybe spruced it a little bit of underglow lights. Just saying. Be the fun car. I'm glad you spent $700. I'm glad you spent less than one car payment the average American has. I'm glad you spent less than one car payment on buying a car and you maintained it yourself. Where have all the good men gone? Ew, it's an old cop car. Luis, $5. Almost done with bookkeeping Coursera. Good. Them Intuit Pro Advisor certifications. Have midnight security job. Right, there we go. These are my people. Yeah. The nighttime security guards making all the fucking right moves. We are the nighttime security guards who are dancers because we're making so many moves. That's how many fucking moves we're making while you sleep. Having midnight security job currently. Any advice when done and on workflow? Oh God. Well, okay, unless you worked in accounting before, you're going to have to get some kind of job. Okay, some kind of accounting job. If you're going through Coursera and Intuit, the next step you should do, Luis, is set up your profile. I don't know if you could set up your profile until you pass. All right, but once you do, get certified in because you're doing Coursera for bookkeeping. Get certified through Intuit in QuickBooks. That's definitely your next move. Then, once you're certified in that, you pass that, you're allowed to open up like your own profile on Intuit and be open for business to take some kind of accounting clients. I would also start looking around for some kind of part-time bookkeeping job that you could do. In the ideal world, it would be remote and you could just dial in as you're working your nighttime security shift to make sure you're doing it right. You may have to work in the daytime or afternoon, whatever accommodates you. So this is just some part-time stuff. Just get your hands on it. And then what was I going to have you do with your accounting? While you're working security, if you haven't, go buy some accounting cycle workbooks where you go through the accounting cycle for a company. They have these workbooks. They've had them forever where you do a full cycle of accounting for a lemonade stand or an ice cream shop, right? It doesn't matter. Just some kind. Just go through that so you understand accounting and the accounting cycle, and therefore can actually do bookkeeping, whether or not you have some real work experience or not. And then I would start, trying to start. You want to have working experience working under somebody else, ideally. But if you are intellectually honest and you go and you take the time, maybe even hire a CPA to audit your work, say, look, here's the deal. I got this client. I want to make sure I know I'm doing it correctly. What's really going to guarantee that is you're working security. And let's say it would take a regular bookkeeper an hour to do it. You got 8 hours to make sure you do it right. I would get some clients, even if you're spending 7 hours doing it, make sure you do it right, get more proficient so you could even take on some work, contract work remotely if you can find it while working security. And then once you build more confidence, you make sure you're doing it right and accurate. It has to be right and accurate. Otherwise, you're not doing accounting. Then all of a sudden, yeah, then I'd open up a business, you know, Luis's Ledger or some accounting fucking thing. And then, but don't give up your security job. You're at the point now to slowly migrate into picking up some small time work, accounts payable, accounts receivable, but keep on going so you could do full bookkeeping abilities for a small company. Even if you're going to have to, I taught myself how to dance. You could teach yourself how to do accounting, but look for one of those accounting workbooks and then just buy it and bring it to the office. Oh, speaking of Vlad Elcom, CPA, $2, concerned that Clary might be having some problems. Don't have any problems. I'm done with that book. And I was like, logically, my numbers were going down for YouTube, right? Wasn't getting many super chats, not as much traffic because I wasn't doing no videos. And we're bam, back, just like, phew. It's amazing what happens when you're not spending 10 hours a day writing. Yeah. And then also related for anyone interested in accounting, whether you happen to be a security guard or a CFO who just fired his entire HR department. If you are interested in an accounting career, Chad and I have a course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career that is linked below. You could find that on Teachable if you can't find the link. It does not teach you how to do accounting. It teaches you how to become an accountant as quickly and cheaply as possible. Ideally, as Luis is doing here, he's just taking courses. You're going to go get certified. He might be able to go get an enrolled agent, which is taxes. That's different. But Chad and I go through different ways that you can, ideally, in the long run, become a remotely self-employed person doing accounting. All right, that's it. The world's greatest accounting career. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.